Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Clara's Chronicles, where today is boring, so let's get exploring. I found this really cool article, actually, multiple articles, so this may be a little bit of a long video, but I promise you won't be disappointed and it's not boring at all. It's actually really fun. It is articles about finding the most beautiful woman in California, and I think it's so interesting to see what went into finding her and what she looked like. So, this all came up because a Chicago newspaper claimed they had found the most beautiful woman. Miss Della Carson. And so the Sunday Call went out and put out an article that California has the most beautiful women, and they are mistaken. So they put out this newspaper article. So keep in mind, this might be a little long. There are tons of articles, as you can see at the top of my web browser, because I just fell in a rabbit hole and I loved every second of it, and I think you will too. So let me make my thumbnail super small because today we're focusing on the beautiful ladies of California. So let me make myself tiny and we will go ahead and begin. So this is the first article here. It says Chicago claims America's most beautiful woman. The Sunday Call undertakes to disprove it with the California beauty. So here's their letter that they sent over. They said, "Our compliments to your city and you upon the charms of the most beautiful woman of Chicago. She is beautiful, but hers will not compare with marvelous beauty of fair women of California. On their behalf, we challenge statement that Chicago women are the most beautiful in America, and we will seek through the call to find a California woman more beautiful than winner of Chicago contest." And they actually respond. So this whole rivalry starts. So it says, "San Francisco Call, we have received your challenge and accept it. Being willing to leave decision as to comparative beauty of women of California and women of Chicago to any impartial judges." So the search begins, right? And so here's this first article. It says Chicago Beauty Contest is won by young stenographer. Is she the greatest in America? Chicago, February 23rd, by the way, 1907. Is a simple Chicago working girl the most beautiful woman in the world? That is the claim made by the Chicago Sunday Tribune for Miss Della Carson, who has been declared by expert judges to be the most beautiful woman in Chicago. Miss Carson was crowned as Chicago's Queen of Beauty over more than 6,000 competitors after a beauty contest that involved a $50,000 wager and the expenditure of $25,000 in advertising and prizes. This was the most remarkable as well as the most romantic beauty quest in history. And the fact that the young woman declared to be the supreme beauty of Chicago is not a society girl, but a $12 a week stenographer, is the most astonishing fact of all. For among the contestants were many rich and fashionable women. Professional beauties, actresses, and artists' models alone were barred from competition. The story of the great Chicago beauty quest is more like a fairy tale than an event of the 20th century, and yet perhaps only this century could have made the story possible. The contestant grew out of a wager between two millionaires over the beauty of a photograph. A young man from the East who was visiting Chicago happened to be showing a photograph of his sister, a young woman of unusual beauty. "I think it is a pity," remarked the Eastern millionaire carelessly, "that Chicago, with all its riches and enterprise, cannot produce beautiful women of this type." This touched the local pride of the Chicago man. He declared that the Easterner was mistaken, that Chicago contained more women of great beauty than any other city in the world. The Easterner smiled indulgently. "I'll bet you $50,000 that I could bring you the photograph of a Chicago woman whom competent judges will declare to be more beautiful than your sister, with all due respect to the latter, whom I admit is a great beauty." The wager was accepted on the spot, and the judges agreed upon a stipulation made that the names of the principals be not revealed. Then the Easterner returned home, and the Chicago man set out to find his beautiful woman. He studied all his beautiful social friends and acquaintances, but he was not satisfied with the results. "I wish I could get a picture of the most beautiful woman in Chicago," he sighed, for he not only wanted to win his wager, but he felt that the honor of his city was at stake. But how could he find the most beautiful woman? Being a Chicago businessman, the natural answer suggested itself at once. "I will advertise for her," he declared. He went at once to Lord and Thomas, advertising agents, and explained his dilemma. Lord and Thomas were amazed. They thought they had carried on all sorts of advertising campaigns that were possible, but here was a new one. They never had advertised for a beauty before, but the money was ready to pay the bills, and they undertook the commission. Modest announcements were made in the Chicago daily newspapers of the terms of the wager, with the request that photographs of beautiful Chicago women be sent to the advertising agents. The returns were not satisfactory. A few hundred photographs came in, but the millionaire felt that they were not likenesses of the most beautiful women in Chicago. He began to complain. "We must have undertaken a bigger thing than we realized," said the agents. "We must advertise on a more comprehensive scale to arouse public interest. We must offer prizes. We must appeal to the friends of the beautiful women to come to our rescue, since it is clear that the women themselves are too modest to send in their own photographs." "Then why don't you do it?" asked the millionaire. The ad man figured a minute. "If you will authorize us to spend $25,000, we will agree to get you 5,000 photographs of the most beautiful women of Chicago." "Go ahead," said the millionaire, who had $50,000 at stake. In 1907, that was a lot of money. Lord and Thomas went ahead. They stirred Chicago until the strange wager and the romantic beauty quest became one of the greatest things in Chicago history. Photographs poured in until, when the judges came to make their selection, they had more than 6,000 beautiful women from whom to choose the most beautiful woman in Chicago. In order to stimulate interest in the contest, Lord and Thomas had let's see, where does this go to? Lord and Thomas had, let me zoom out. Oh, continued on page 22, columns 1 and 2. Sorry, give me just a second. Let me find this. There are so many articles, I haven't even been able to go through all of them. It's just so exciting. I have 17 open right now, so I might have to cut this into a different episode. So let's see one more time. Where did it say it was? Page 22, columns 1 and 2. In order to stimulate interest in the contest, okay. Page 22. Move this up. PDF makes it a little bit clearer, easier to read. Okay. In order to stimulate interest, they offered prizes to the first, second, third, and fourth most beautiful women, and had agreed to publish the names and photographs of the 4 winners. But when the judges came to select the winners, they made the astonishing announcement that, while they had agreed on the first, second, and third prizes, They had found among the 6,000 photographs 93 other women of surpassing beauty and recommended that the entire 96 be declared prize winners. The Chicago millionaire was game. This recommendation of the judges meant that he would be obliged to pay out a lot more money for prizes, and that he would be obliged to publish the names and photographs of the 96 beautiful women instead of 3 or 4. He still said, "Go ahead," and everybody in Chicago was waiting anxiously for the day set for the announcements. All wanted to see the pictures of the 96 beauties and learn the names of the prize winners. Then occurred the third act in this wonderful modern drama. The Chicago Sunday Tribune offered to pay the expenses of the advertising campaign, as well as the prize money, for the exclusive privilege of publishing the photographs and announcing the names of the winners. The Chicago Sunday Tribune was willing to pay $25,000 for the photographs of 96 beautiful women and the news story of the selection of the beauties. It was an unheard of thing for a newspaper to pay more than $250 apiece for a group of nearly 100 photographs. At first, the millionaire was inclined to refuse, but Lord and Thomas reasoned with him. "The Tribune publishes the leading Sunday paper in Chicago," they urged. "There is nothing in the terms of your wager that would forbid your giving them the exclusive story and the photographs. It will relieve you of all expenses, and $25,000 is not meant to be thrown away lightly, even by so rich a man as yourself." "Go ahead, then," he said once more, and Lord and Thomas turned the entire Beauty Quest data over to the editor of the Chicago Sunday Tribune, stipulating only that the names and photographs of the 96 prize winners be published as they had announced on their advertisements. This, of course, the Sunday Tribune was glad to do, and the pictures of the prize winners have been appearing for the past few weeks. All of the pictures were published before the names of the prize winners were announced, and the contestants and their friends and everybody else in Chicago have been speculating anxiously on which one of the 96 would win first prize. The winner of the first prize, therefore officially as well as really the most beautiful woman in Chicago, is Miss Della Carson of 1248 Diversity Boulevard. Wow, they put her address. What do they say on Reddit? They say RIP to their inbox when a girl posts a really cute photo. It's like RIP to her house. You know, everyone's going to be out there asking for her to come out to view her beauty in real life, right? Her name, address, and photograph as the winner of the first prize are published today exclusively in the San Francisco Call and the Chicago Sunday Tribune. I gotta say, I was looking for the Chicago Tribune articles forever, but the archives are actually really expensive to access. Maybe if I can afford it in the future, we can revisit it, or if anyone can get them for me, I can post them and talk about them, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get those articles. But this gives a great backstory, and her photo is there. I'll show you. So I didn't feel the need to bring that up. And plus, I already have so many tabs to go through. Let's see. San Francisco Call readers will be able to see how this young Chicago beauty looks. They will be able to study her photograph and see if there is any truth in the Chicago Sunday Tribune's contention that she is the most beautiful woman in the whole wide world, and if that paper is justified in challenging California to produce a beauty that is her equal. What do you think of her? She is beautiful, certainly, but is she the most beautiful woman in the world? Miss Carson is a medium blonde, and she is 24 years old. She has been working since she was 19, and her pay is $12 a week. Her father died some years since, and she has been the main support of her mother and 2 sisters, with whom she lives. She has been known as a great beauty among her friends and acquaintances, but the great social world knows nothing of her. Her home on Diversey Boulevard is in a respectable, but not fashionable, neighborhood. She is modest and quiet and sensible. She will be surprised to learn this morning that a friend entered her picture in the beauty contest and that she is acclaimed as the most beautiful woman in Chicago. Perhaps the most extraordinary thing is the beauty contest. In the beauty contest is that the first prize was won by a working girl. Is it possible that with all their aids to beauty, the women of the fashionable society must yield the palm to the young women who work, who lead simple lives and have few pleasures and little opportunity for culture? And will the rest of the country permit the Sunday Tribune's challenge to pass unnoticed? Will the Chicago beauty be permitted to wear her crown without protest from the beautiful women of California and their fathers, brothers, husbands, and sweethearts? So they're truly amplifying everyone in California. Are you really going to let Miss Della Carson from Chicago be claimed as the most beautiful woman in the world? You better start sending those photos in. So let me go back to the first page. Let me see if I need to read all of this. Well, let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's check out Della Carson. I mean, smash or pass? No, I'm just kidding. Let's rate her 1 out of 10. I think she's absolutely stunning. And you can kind of tell in this photo that her eyes were probably colored. You see the light ring here? And her facial structure is absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at that. Zooming in gives me great quality. So I think she's really beautiful. And when we go to later articles, it kind of talks about what the judges did. Some of them were sculptors, some were artists. So they were really studying the facial structure and just going by that as the rules for the contest, which is amazing. I think this video is getting a little long, so what I'll do actually, because trust me, we have so much to go through, I'm going to split this up into parts. So this is really just the backstory on this contest. Let me kind of just go through this page and make sure that I'm getting everything here. Let me just go back. I need to open this as a PDF. Let's just go ahead and finish this page, and I will go ahead and do a part 2 with all of the contestant information. So this says California beauty is supreme. How the Sunday Call expects to shame Chicago. Because a Chicago millionaire, to win a wager, found a stenographer in his city who was clearly more beautiful than a certain beauty of New York, the Chicago Tribune hurls its defiant proclamation that this fascinating Windy City stenographer is the most beautiful woman in America. That's like Chicago. They never do things by halves in Chicago. Nobody doubts that they have a beautiful woman in Chicago. That Chicago's prize beauty is a rarely bewitching girl is evident from a glance at her photograph which appears on this page. But when Chicago, lost in contemplation of the charms of which is its own, declares that this young woman is the most beautiful woman in America, Chicago forgets a very important part of the map. Chicago reckons without California. The editor of the Chicago Tribune should travel. He should come to San Francisco and lowering his gaze from the cupolas of the new skyscrapers which are aiming at the clouds. He should feast his eyes and his soul upon the faces of the women who trip over the bricks and bloom, the more effulgently for the exercise. Even this wind-blown mortal from the shores of Lake Michigan would be moved to exclaim, "Cherries are ripe," whatever that means. Let me know in the comments. He would find that the warm ocean current which sweeps this strand has a more aesthetic mission than making a mock of winter and bearing fleets upon its bosom. He would learn, whether or no, that here in Eden is nurtured beauty. He would go to Sacramento only to find that the gold of the wheat fields of the grass valley or of the great valley of the north is burnished when it appears in the hair of the maidens. At Fresno, he would find the pink heart of the fig failing by contrast when it reaches the lips of the Fresno woman. Like the orange tree of the Southland bearing at the same time bud, blossom, and fruit, he would behold the Los Angeles woman in every stage of her development, beautiful and more beautiful. At Bakersfield, at Stockton, at Santa Rosa, at Redding, all of our cities on the map, baby. I'm from California, so this is so exciting to me. Ah, but it needs a poet for this dream of fair women. At the Sunday call, we'll bet the Chicago Tribune nothing. It is wrong to bet, and it would not be a compliment of the kind we love to pay our California women to make them, like the speed of a horse or the punch of a pugilist. I really need to learn these words if I'm going to be reading these. The subject of a wager. Neither would it be fair to gamble on their beauty. It would not be fair to the other fellow, for unlike Chicago, unlike New York, because I'll get to that, other newspapers started picking this up. All newspapers started trying to find the most beautiful woman, and we'll get into that, but it turns into a national beauty contest. So amazing. The superlative beauty of glorious California womanhood is not an incident of chance. It is a royal fact. It is our never-failing resource. It is our best product. To the red-blooded men who made and are making the great Commonwealth of California, these things are axioms. The mightiness of our future, the steadfastness of our home love, and the beauty of our sweethearts, our mothers, and our wives. An axiom truly, this regal beauty of our women, to all Californians whom God has blessed with eyes. But all Americans, unfortunately, are not Californians. There is Missouri, for instance, which remains to be shown. Right gladly, California will show Missouri, Chicago, New York, and Hackensack, NJ. A medium and a leader is required. With a proud heart and a buoyant confidence, the Sunday call offers itself for this modern chivalry. This, then, is the task to which the Sunday call hereby consecrates its services. It will seek until it finds the California beauty of beauties, and having shamed Chicago with its discovery, it will proclaim her a greater beauty than will be found in any other state or city of the Union. Fairest of women of America. Other cities, a score of them, each justly proud of the sweet grace of its womankind, also arise to challenge Chicago's claim. Incidentally, with no less vigor, they challenge the claim which the Sunday call makes for the California. They turn now each to seek out its best and set her upon a pedestal, even as does the call in California. And when the beauties are found, a national jury, perforce leaving their hearts at home, will look from one to the other, at length shall decide upon the one. And then, we shall see what we shall see. The Sunday call sets out to find the modern Cinderella. Was Cinderella already created at this time, 1907? No. I wonder when Cinderella from Disney came out. I hope that's not a terrible comment. Not with a tiny slipper, but with a salver of gold. And when the most beautiful woman in California has received her title from the impartial jury, which is to be impaneled the Sunday call, will gallantly present her with the platter upon which lie the golden coins in return for the pure joy of having looked upon her face. Yes, Miss and Madam, the first prize in this contest to discover the most beautiful woman in California is to be a salver upon which is piled $150 in gold. You heard about Ms. Della Carson. She made $12 a week. So imagine $150. Super exciting for the women back in 1907. The woman given second place, so there are second and third prizes, The woman given second place by the judges will receive $50 in gold. The third beauty, $25, and the next 25 contestants will reach $10 each. So this is a big pool of women. The least prize of all will be worth a struggle on the part of the friends of every lovely woman. Thus has the call on behalf of California challenged Chicago and incidentally the whole country via Western Union. Our compliments to your city and to you upon the charms of the most beautiful woman of Chicago. And this continues, so we'll go ahead and leave it at this. This is getting really long. But I will continue this in part 2. Stick along with me. You don't want to miss all of these amazing articles of all of the photos that were turned in to locate not only the most beautiful woman in America, but ultimately the most beautiful woman in the world at that time. You don't want to miss this. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys all next time. Have a beautiful night, and we will continue this in the second part. Thank you so much for watching.